Hello guys and welcome.
Okay. We're not doing that. I'm gonna cook for my family for an entire week using only this book. Ooh.
It's disgusting.
It's edible.
It's so good. Stick around to see what we think.
Oh.
It got super thick.
It's really good.
Kind of bland.
It's so hearty.
Yeah, for you.
What is that? That's so gross.
How bad could cake be?
Hello, Abraham, I want to be eaten.
What's on top? That looks disgusting.
Basil sugar.
No. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I think this is gonna be a disaster.
Welcome.
Fascinating.
Perfect for a winter's night.
That blows my mind. Holy cow.
Yummy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Hey everyone, and welcome back to PB with Jay. If you're new to the channel, here we do lots of things. We do cookbook reviews like this. We do original recipes. We do videos where we test out things and whatnot. It's a little bit of everything here on PB with Jay, but it's all focused around plant-based goodness. This week, I'm diving into the new book, Hungry as Hell, by the people known as Bad Manners, formerly known as Thug Kitchen. They rebranded a while ago, so if you know them as Thug Kitchen, now they're Bad Manners. Are you caught up? Good, great. Matt and Michelle, who are these people, also have an amazing podcast called Forked Up that's really, really funny. So check that out as well. I have their other 4 books, and I genuinely love pretty much everything they do. So I'm really excited to dive into this one. One little caveat for those of you out there who are a bit more sensitive to language and don't like the swears, you might want to skip this one just from the outset because they're filthy and potty mouth. And if you're like me and you enjoy that sort of thing, move forth. If not, maybe just skip this one from the get-go to avoid being, you know, upset by things like that. What's really cool about their mission in this book is that they really just want to help you learn how to cook for yourself and be able to make swaps and trades and whatnot based on what you've got in your kitchen. That said, that's their mission. Let's see if it's actually helpful. They have the traditional sections like breakfast and lunch and snacks and desserts, but what they've also done is they've included recipes that are good for both the weekdays and the weekends. And inside of all of those, there's lots of things they call like cheat sheets and whatnot to help you with additional swaps and moving things around and just trying stuff out. They genuinely want to make you feel more comfortable in the kitchen, just like we here at PB with Jay do. Before we get into the recipes, I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of the people who've said hi to us down in the comments below. Beth Ann from Kansas City, Sophie from the United Kingdom, Ruth from Friendship, Monica from Germany, Anne from South Africa, and I want to give a special shout out to 2 plant-based kids, Cruz and Jameson from Michigan. I really love that we've got families watching the channel because it lets me know that people are passing things along to their kids. If you or someone in your family or someone you know wants a shout out, all you got to do is say hi down below. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and anything you want to share with us about your thoughts on the channel or your own experience. We love interacting with you down in the comments. And obviously, if you enjoy this video at any point, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Now to the food! For dinner tonight, I'm gonna make this Congri de Flor. I'm sure I butchered that pronunciation. Congri is what they call Cuban rice and beans, apparently. And depending on what part of the country you grew up on, you use red or black beans. We are using red for this. I'm largely sticking to the script here. The one thing I didn't do that they do in the recipe is cooking the beans on the stove from scratch. I used it in the Instant Pot. Hopefully that doesn't change it too much. I added the bay leaves just like they suggested. The main thing I'm missing is it calls for 2 canned chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. This is the closest I found. It's green pickled jalapenos, and I'm sure it's nowhere close to what I'm supposed to be adding. It doesn't have the sauce for sure, so I'm sure that's a flavor element missing. Apologies, I did my best. That's the thing about these videos and doing recipe reviews is, yeah, maybe you should do it exactly to the script, but what if you live somewhere that is more of a food desert? I don't live in a food desert, but a lot of people that cook from cookbooks live in places where you can't get all these foods. So you've got to adapt and you got to modify. The question is, does the recipe hold up regardless? That's how I approach these reviews. And if that's not cool with you, that's fine. Then this ain't for you. So I just opened up this can and it comes with carrots inside. I bet they're not spicy at all. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh no, what did I do? Ephraim, come here. There were some carrots in this can of jalapeno peppers. You want to try one?
No.
I had one.
Nope.
I'll have one with you.
Nope.
Zero chance?
Nope.
I'll give it to Annie. This is gonna come back to Mom. I'm already laughing, thinking how she'll react. I can't do it to her. Give it to Mom. Yeah, I'll give it to Mom. So, I'm removing the oil as per usual. I'm gonna use white rice if I've got it here, because I'm trying to be nice to my kids from time to time. So the one thing to keep in mind here is that they want you to keep the cooking liquid of the beans up to 3 cups there. So don't throw that out yet. Hold on to that, because I think that's gonna be part of the flavor. I'm excited about this so much. Like, what I really love about Bad Manners and their cookbooks is it's flavor plus. So hopefully this is something that my family loves. What I love about this is that they add bananas at the end as a serving option. So I'm really curious to see if that adds an element and if we like it or think it's bonkers. But I love the inventiveness of it. Let's see how we like it. So this is annoying. I thought we had a giant bunch of cilantro in the fridge. It's parsley, but I have coriander. So this is not quite the same, but it'll give similar flavors because coriander is made from cilantro. I'm sorry, yell at me all you want in the comments. This is my bad. I assumed I had it, don't have it.
Excuse me.
I looked all over. If you can find cilantro, you will get the biggest kiss.
Well, I don't think you want to kiss me because I have this like cough thing happening.
Oh, I have something that could help you with that. Special carrots.
Why will it heal me?
It's a good carrot.
Oh, spicy.
Yeah, it'll clear right out.
That's not what I need.
No?
Why is it so spicy? Why is it so spicy?
It was in the can of jalapenos.
Why is it so spicy?
I thought it'd be good for you.
No, I don't like it.
If you told me to give it to you.
He's mean. Why is he so mean? Doesn't he love me?
Okay, let's see how it tastes before I give it to children. That spice might be a problem. That's what the bananas are for. This could be a huge fail. All right, dinner's ready.
It's a bit spicy for me. But I like the lime and the banana. Really cool.
A banana is such a smart choice. I know you think when you read recipe, you're like, banana? That's weird. It works, and it's awesome, and it totally helps the...
Take a banana, cut the
You gotta. Is she literally just having like a spoonful? She's thinking about it.
Ew.
Anything else? Highly recommend the banana. Getting more banana, Willie?
Spicy. I never thought of banana for cutting spice before.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's interesting though, right?
It's not the best.
It's got a kick.
I don't really like it. I don't like the texture of the rice. I don't really like the flavor either.
Will you eat it for dinner?
No.
So that's a fail. What about you? It's fine. You wouldn't eat it again?
No. Spicy.
I'm glad I'm having it, but yeah, I don't know if I'd want to eat this meal again. It's a lot of rice also.
Yeah.
I'm sure I will be eating this for leftovers until I get sick of it. Good thing we have lots of bananas. So tonight for dinner, I am gonna make this eggplant polpettii. Polpettii? I don't know how to say this. It's basically meatballs. So here's the thing. I don't like eggplant. My kids don't really like eggplant. But we have an eggplant in the fridge. And I'm always in a desperate attempt to try to expand my horizons, try new things. So, and they look really, really good in the photo here. So, that's also a hint, Bad Manners. Put more photos in your books. Your food always looks good. Matt, you're a killer at photography. Flex it more, man. Just flex it more. So what are the swaps here? As always, gonna cut out that oil. I'm making this gluten-free. So really all that means is making gluten-free breadcrumbs, which is not hard because I have gluten-free bread. So I'm just gonna toast the hell out of it. I'll just actually put it in the air fryer. I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. Just a warning, if you're wondering why the food processor looks dirty and filthy, it's because I made breadcrumbs in it. And I didn't want to clean it because it's all being part of the same meal anyway. Basically, it takes half an hour to cook in the oven. So by the time I'm getting this in the oven, I can make everything else I need for it. So that'd be super duper easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then I'm gonna serve it with just some pasta and pasta sauce and broccoli. So this should come together easily enough. I'm looking forward to it.
They're weird.
What's weird about them?
I don't know, I like the ones that we make better. Is there like fennel in it or something?
Yeah, there's fennel in, but that's like a typical flavor in sausage.
I don't like it. It's too much in this.
You'll eat it?
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It tastes like fennel.
What book is it the start of?
Bad manners.
They need to step up their game here.
Mommy?
It's fine, like I'll eat it. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite bean ball or lentil ball or tofu ball that we've ever had. It's edible.
I don't hate these at all. I think they're fine. Would I make them again knowing you guys don't like them? No.
There's too much stuff. It's too much fennel.
Yeah. I like a little bit of fennel though. I think that's the right flavor, but
It's too much.
what about the texture?
It's fine. It's a bit weird. It's also kind of sweet, the meatballs. The bean balls.
Sweet. Interesting. Thanks for the feedback, guys. We still got 30 recipes to go in this book. We'll find one we like. 30.
30?
No. For dessert tonight, I'm gonna make this chocolate peanut butter mousse. I'm gonna make this pretty much as is. The only thing I have to change is they say you should use the silken tofu that you get that's shelf stable. My grocery store did not have it. I went to 2, couldn't find it. Gonna use the regular silken kind that they have in the produce section. So I'm gonna let you know if that works. I can't imagine it wouldn't. In fact, I'm super curious why you can't just use one or the other. I imagine maybe this one's a bit more watery-y, but I've never found it to be a problem. I've made lots of puddings with this stuff. So the only trick to this that you gotta keep in mind is that it says it needs an hour to set. So you wanna make this in advance, which is what I'm doing. Essentially, we're just gonna melt some chocolate and then throw that along with everything else into the blender and then whir it up. It's pretty liquidy though. Let's see, hope it sets. Couple thoughts on this recipe. First off, delicious, flavor is great. As someone who has made many protein enhanced chocolate things before, I don't know why they've asked me to add the milk. It's runny. Maybe it'll set really thick, but that feels like it's not necessary, and that's what made it runny. I don't know why it needs maple syrup if it already has a couple chocolate chips in there. Hopefully the tofu I used didn't make a big difference, but I've used that kind of silken tofu before to make a pudding, and it's great. But adding that milk is an interesting choice. So here it goes.
Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel.
Okay.
We're
not doing that. Really?
No, I'm just joking. It actually smells really good.
Jerk. Oh. It got super thick. I was wrong. This set really nicely. Scoop it and top it with stuff. I'm gonna throw my granola on top. Let's see what we think.
Pretty good. Tastes like a worse Reese's cup.
Can you make it a pure compliment as opposed to like a passive aggressive compliment?
I mean, I almost beat Reese's. The texture is pretty good. I think it could be thicker though.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, it's interesting. I'm surprised it was as creamy as it was because it was really liquidy when I put it to set.
Still pretty liquidy though.
Well, I think that's what mousse, this is more of a mousse than a pudding, right? Mousse is supposed to be like lighter and airier.
No, wait, I'm still decorating it. You can't look. Don't look!
Oh my goodness.
No.
I'm not allowed to look at Annie's yet. She yelled at me. This is so fluffy and delicious and rich.
Mom gets chocolate chips!
You're putting chocolate chips in a chocolate pudding? It's like putting a hat on a hat. I'm shocked. But the texture of this turned out the way it did. It's so good. If I made this again though, I would take out the maple syrup.
Put this back up, but don't look. Don't look.
You know what? I will not be talked to that way. I want to hear a magic word.
Please.
All right, there
Don't
we go.
look. No.
I'm not looking.
You want some peanuts on yours?
No. How's it pudding, Mama?
It's really good. I don't think I can eat a whole bowl like this. It's huge.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a
I'm
lot.
gonna put it in the fridge for tomorrow. Really good. Peanutty, chocolatey.
A little does go a very long way. I'd say this serves more than 4.
Ta-da!
Where'd the pudding go?
Okay, do you want to take a photo of it for the video?
I can't see the actual recipe I made. Now it looks like a bowl of toppings.
Okay, how's that? Now you can see it.
Okay.
Yummy! Oh, it doesn't look liquidy, but when you put it in your mouth, it's like really liquidy.
Well, it's a mousse, right? Not a pudding. So it's a little lighter and airier. So the overall feeling with the mousse was very, very good, but very, very filling. I'm gonna finish mine tomorrow at lunch. Yeah. Just interrupting super quick to let you know about the sponsor for this portion of the video, the Hauswirth Intelligent Stand Mixer. If you saw our review of the You Can Cook cookbook, you might have seen us already use this stand mixer, but it's also super easy to use with this touchscreen function on top. Let's see what happens. I'm so in love with this thing. We genuinely love this thing. It has got a splash guard, which I think is revolutionary when it comes to stand mixers. I don't know why every stand mixer doesn't come with one, but I also just love how easy it is to use, how easy it cleans. It's really, really quiet. It's got all the little different attachments that I really, really enjoyed. Okay, so it's got a dough hook. It's got this thing that's like scrapes on the side. It's like a flat beater.
It's scraped and
So we don't have to do that thing anymore.
No. And it's got little suction cups that help it stick to the counter as well. Also, it's got a really compact design, so it fits inside your cupboard really, really easily. Or if you've got room on your countertop, which a lot of us don't because we like all our gadgets, it'll fit in there nicely too. And because I love this so much and would love to see this inside your home, I partnered with Hauswirth to get you a discount code for 10% off and a link down below using my discount code, which will also be in the description down below. You're gonna see me using this mixer later on in the video. Speaking of which, let's get back to it. For dinner tonight, I'm making this chickpea with tahini soup with, it calls orzo, couldn't find orzo, put macaroni in there. But, you know, for all intents and purposes, this is their recipe. Okay, what am I gonna do? I'm obviously taking the oil out of this thing. The rest of it I'm gonna make pretty much as is. I got the fresh dill, I got fresh parsley. The only thing I'm gonna swap out is the orzo, because I couldn't find it. They don't have that in like gluten-free. So I'm using a small macaroni. But this says it comes together very quickly with minimal chopping. So I'm looking forward to it. Basically, it's like, you know, it's typical soup. You throw a couple things in, you warm them up, get some flavors going, you throw more stuff in, you let it sit longer. Oh, you gotta cook the pasta ahead of time. That makes sense. That's a trick to making pasta soups, is that if you cook the pasta in the soup, it's gonna get gloopier and fally aparty. So just add the amount of pasta you want to the soup before you serve it. And if you're storing leftovers, keep them separate in the fridge too. How's soup, Willie?
it's fun.
Yeah, it needs more of the, it's like a tahini chickpea soup.
Yeah.
It's kind of bland. Ephraim's gonna call this bland. It's okay. It needs something. I'd add more, maybe more salt and pepper.
Later that same evening.
As I eat it, I like it more.
Just the flavor is developed more?
Yeah.
It's kind of bland.
Yeah,
The only
it's better.
flavor is like dill. More layers.
Of flavor?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got some tahini in it, but I think it almost needs more.
It's just dull.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's weird? Yeah, what makes it weird?
The dill.
The dill?
Yeah, and just the flavor in general, right?
Yeah.
It just got no flavor except for the dill. It's just dill.
So far, outside of the desserts, it is not looking great for this cookbook, which shocks me because we usually love these people's cookbooks.
This was the Bad Manners one?
Yeah, it's their new book.
Uh-oh.
I know, let's see how the next 2 meals go.
Bad manners.
Yeah, we got bad manners sometimes too, people say in the comments. Don't mind the crunching, it's Rufus's dinner time too. That's right, I'm talking to you. All right, so tonight for dinner, we're gonna have bean and mushroom breakfast cobbler. We don't do a lot of savory breakfasts for breakfast, so often we have like a breakfast for dinner. Also, this just feels like something we would normally have for dinner. I think they were looking for something extra to add to the breakfast category. I see what you're doing here. I'm fine with it, but I see it. So, as per usual, I'm gonna swap out the olive oil here with aquafaba, which I got, which will hopefully coat things and still give it a fatty-ish thingy mabobber. Maybe not, we'll find out. I'm gonna add some green beans to it because I think it'll go nicely, and I got extra green beans, and I just think more vegetables the better. So we're gonna top that up there. I'll be swapping out, it calls for like cold butter or coconut oil. I'm gonna use liquid aquafaba, and I know that's not what it calls for, and it's not gonna quite make the flaky crust it's asking for, but I also just don't want all that oil and fat in my dinner. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm reviewing it on a curve with that in mind, and if the biscuit doesn't turn out, I know it's my fault. Flavor-wise, it should all be similar. It'll be a little less fatty. So basically, you're making this like a stew kind of dish. I'm gonna do it inside my cast iron skillet, and then you make like a batter that you plop on top, and you bake that in the oven.
It's PPP.
You peed in it?
No. Pot pie in a pan. PPP.
It's called a mushroom cobbler.
Are you kidding me?
Mushroom
You
and white
made
bean.
something called a mushroom.
No, it's a white bean with mushroom cobbler. It's not all mushrooms.
Setting yourself up for failure.
Okay, so I reduced the mushrooms the recipe called for, and I added carrots and beans. And I made the mushrooms really big so she can pick them out.
Excuse me, I don't want to stab you.
She needs... Are you mad at me that you're gonna stab me?
No, I'm saying I don't want to stab you. I walk past.
I'm making cake for later. Stay tuned for cake.
I thought you already made the cake.
Well, in this continuity of this video, I haven't made it yet.
He hasn't made it yet.
Spoiler alert, we're making cake next. What do you mean, oh no?
So bad.
You had to give it a shot. You know the rules.
Can I just take a bite of yours? Everything's bad about it.
It's so hearty.
Yeah, for you.
I haven't tried it yet. Well, you can always just take the pasta from the soup and put sauce with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I will try this because we're going to watch our Survivor show after this. It's Survivor season. Do you watch Survivor? Let us know in the comments down below. For me, this is like delicious. Perfect comfort food. It needs a little more salt and pepper. Yeah, no, it's great. This reminds me of stuff I grew up with, so that's why I like it. And I didn't grow up with the flavors I grew up with. Oh, there's so much flavor in here. I love this.
Oh, mushroomy. I mean, not at all.
It's okay, she already didn't like it.
Mushroomy. It's kind of earthy.
Yeah, in a bad way though?
No.
I really liked it.
The flour and stuff maybe you use too. What kind of
Well,
flour?
gluten-free.
It's very earthy. Perfect for a winter's night.
This kind of you had growing up? I had this kind of thing growing up.
No.
No?
But we had chicken and dumplings.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. I would have had this.
My
It would
mom
have been...
didn't eat vegetables, so she didn't cook vegetables.
I don't understand people that are just like, I don't eat vegetables. Like it's a... I guess it's a thing, but it just seems so
She eventually started cooking broccoli.
insane to me. All right, Evie, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Get some of that breading. Get some of that.
Ooh, pretty good. I like the mushrooms. The right amount of saltiness. Yeah. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah?
Wow.
Actually, 7.5. 7.5.
Wow. I know this. I think this book might have redeemed. This recipe might have redeemed this book a little bit.
For now.
Well, we get not for Annie. I already thought this one wasn't gonna be for you though. People put a lot of mushrooms in recipes. For dessert tonight, I'm gonna make this midnight chocolate cake with milk chocolate ganache. It's Thursday, so we're making a cake, because that's what you do on Thursdays, apparently. So we start off by making a buttermilk, which is basically just adding some apple cider vinegar or any vinegar to our non-dairy milk. You know me, it's same as usual. I'm gonna cut out that oil and replace that with applesauce. Really, that's it. And then I'm just gonna swap out the flour to make it gluten-free. There's a lot of stuff in here that I like that I would do. Like, normally I would put a cup of hot water in my batter. They've got hot coffee, so I like that idea. Gives a little more of a bitter oomph to it. It's a typical cake. you know, we are going to mix the dry and then we're gonna mix the wet. I'm gonna do it in my Hauswort mixer that I got, this beautiful, beautiful machine. If you like this machine and think it's as awesome as I think it is, I've got a discount code down below where you can get a sweet, sweet deal on this puppy, but it's for a limited time only, so don't sleep on that discount code. Mixie the dry, mixie the wet, and then after we bake this, we're gonna bake this in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we're gonna let it cool for at least 10 minutes in the pan before we transfer it to a wire rack. If you don't know this, this is crucial. You need to get your cake cool before you ice it, otherwise it's just gonna get all folly aparty. If you really wanna go that next step, you could wrap it in plastic and stick it in the freezer and let it get hard. Then your icing will go on really smooth. I'm not gonna do that today, because especially with gluten-free, it can get on the gummy side if you do that. So I'm just gonna make the cakes earlier in the day, let them cool all day. And then at some point in the afternoon, we're gonna make that ganache. So the trick to the ganache is you heat up the milk. In this case, it's gonna be coconut cream.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's just separated. But is it oil? What is that? That's so gross.
And then we're gonna pour that over top of the chocolate chips and just let it sit for a few minutes so it starts the act of melting in itself. And then we're gonna stir it all together. Normally, I would actually just pour that in its warm state over top of the cake because I find it really, really spreads nice and evenly while it's still warm. This recipe tells you to let it cool down and then spread it on after, more like a traditional icing. So I'm gonna do that, even though it fights my instincts of how I would normally do it, and see how that turns out. I'm not gonna lie, this cookbook has been a little rough for the family. They haven't loved tons of the stuff, so I'm hoping this is a home run. Also, it's cake. How bad could cake be? In January, I'm gonna have a birthday video that shows you how I make my birthday cake, and it's awesome. But hopefully this one's awesome too.
Oh my gosh, it's a chocolate cake.
Here.
It's good. The icing is super sweet.
Yeah, I know, it's because it's coconut cream, which already had sugar in it.
Oh.
Which typically I would just use regular milk.
You probably didn't need that more sugar.
I know. The sugar level you guys use in your books is a bit insane. I cut it down and it's still too much. Yeah, that's really good. Oh wow. Even with the gluten-free, it's really light and decadent. Woo! This is a good cake recipe, despite the fact that I made it healthier.
Dense. That's good. Not bad.
Yeah?
Nothing special about it. It's a chocolate cake.
Wow. Look at you. Getting a chocolate cake on a Thursday night for no reason? That's special, Evie.
Ephraim? Ephraim?
Wait.
Hello, Ephraim, I want to be eaten.
Pretty good. Could use a thicker layer of icing.
Thicker? It's pretty sweet, decadent though, don't you think?
Yeah, but
Well, it's ganache, so it runs really thin.
based on how much cake there is, there's not, the ratio isn't the best.
Gotcha. Gotcha. But what has the cake itself?
It's chocolate.
Yeah? You like it?
Yeah.
I think you and I are eating the leftovers this weekend. It's good. I think he's not wrong. Like, if you wanted to use that cake with an icing, it's very sweet, like Emily said, but it's also kind of thin. It's a weird ratio. He's not wrong, but it's a good cake. Super good cake. This might be the best thing I've had so far in this book. So for dinner tonight, I'm gonna make these breakfast sandwich Sammies. It's just me and Evie for dinner tonight because Wooly and Annie are visiting friends in Ottawa. So it's just the two of us, and I thought this was more up our alley anyway. So we're gonna make this. Got some tater tots in the freezer. So I'm not sure if it's gonna matter, but I'm going to press this tofu just in case. It again calls for this extra firm silken tofu that is shelf stable, which I don't know where you buy that. It is not the stores I shop at, so I'm just using regular old extra firm. And hopefully that's gonna be okay, because that's what I got. It'll do something, I'm sure. I'm gonna swap out the olive oil with aquafaba, so chickpea juice. And I'm gonna add a little bit of black salt, so calamanach, to it to give it more of an eggy flavor. And I'm also gonna saute some mushrooms and spinach to add to the bottom. Just add some more vegetables to this. And I got some tomatoes, and we'll probably put some plant-based cheese on there as well, just to really jam it up. So I am tweaking it a little bit, but I'm mostly interested in how this will work in terms of just the structure of it. It sounds really, really cool. You basically throw everything in the blender, and then you pour it in like, what is it, half-cup increments onto the pan. So caveat, Ephraim has added real cheese to his.
That's good.
Yeah? You like it? Oh, good. I haven't tried it yet, so I have no idea.
It's really good. Very, very good.
Wow.
I like it.
That blows my mind. I was not expecting that to be that good. Oh, it's like creamy. This is better than the real thing it's imitating.
What's it imitating?
Like an egg sandwich.
Oh. Yeah, that's good.
Holy cow. And it works with all the swaps I did, putting the aquafaba in instead of the oil. This is like the tastiest thing I think I've ever had from a Bad Manners cookbook. It's so good. I can't get over how good that is. Woo! For our final dessert in this book, we're gonna make lemon almond blondies with basil sugar. If you're not familiar with what a blondie is, think a brownie that's not chocolatey. If you're not familiar with what basil sugar is, stand in line because I've never heard of it myself, but I'm gonna make it today. That's the easiest part. Apparently you just throw sugar, cane sugar in this instance, I'll be using coconut sugar, in with fresh basil into a food processor and just blend it up until you don't see the basil anymore. And then it's good for like a week in your fridge. I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. What does basil sugar taste like? Ooh, it's kind of like black licorice. Yeah, that tastes like black licorice. Fascinating. I'm gonna see what Ify thinks of it. He'll probably not want to try it. I've been putting him through a lot lately. If you've seen our challenges where we tried the milk and the juice. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, what are you doing?
Why would you do that?
He's gonna barf.
Boy's been through a lot. He's got some food trust issues these days.
Try what?
Basil sugar.
Wait, what?
Basil sugar.
No, I'm scared.
What does it remind you of?
Ew.
Does it remind you of something? That's not what it reminds you of.
I don't like black licorice.
So you don't want me to put this in our dessert tonight?
Try a little bit, but if it's bad, then I'm not eating it.
More for me. You've got Halloween candy still anyway. I'm not worried about you. All right, back to making delicious desserts, maybe. So it's like making a brownie. You're mixing your wet, mixing your dry, and you're mixing it together. What am I switching out here? So obviously I'm gonna make it gluten-free. So I'm gonna use a gluten-free 1-to-1 for my wife. Otherwise, this all looks great. It's all pretty much on plan with what we eat anyway, except for this melted coconut oil. You know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna swap that out with aquafaba. And that's that. Otherwise, let's get to it. I'm excited about this one. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I think this is gonna be a disaster. That seemed like a real thin brownie. Said the batter would be thick, but that's thick. And I don't think the gluten-free aspect is gonna help it at all. I have no idea if what I just made is gonna be edible in any way. It'll be something. My expectations are so low now for this dessert. And that basil sugar will either be the thing that brings it together or just really, really puts the final nail in the coffin of this one.
What's on top? That looks disgusting.
Basil sugar.
You try. Ew, there's nuts!
It's like sweet pesto.
That doesn't sound good.
I like it. I think if you like black licorice, you would like it.
Right? I thought it tasted like that too.
She doesn't like black licorice, so.
That is so disgusting.
Oh, you're right. If you like black licorice, it's really good. There's an adult flavor. It tastes very gluten-free. I don't like...
Yeah.
Love that flour we've been using. Turning it into like a whole food plant-based recipe didn't quite work, and the sugar didn't quite turn out the way it's supposed to be. It's really oily. I kind of botched this recipe. I don't think it's the recipe's fault. I think the flavors are good, so it would probably work out well if you made it the way they said. Yeah, I don't think I want the whole thing. So what did we think of Bad Manners, Hungry as Hell? As you probably saw, I struggled with this one a little bit more than some of their other books. One thing I want you to keep in mind as well is that there's a lack of photos overall in this book, which is kind of shocking to me because it's so full of pictures and color and whatnot. I just don't understand why they couldn't have a photo for every single recipe. You know, I know that's a real make it or break it for some people out there. So that is a challenge. That said, they've got a really great online presence. So chances are they do have photos of some of these recipes that aren't in the book on their website or on their Instagram feed. So check that out as well. Also, as you saw in the video, a lot of their recipes use a lot of oil, a lot of sugar. So I personally cut down on some of those. If you're looking to eat more whole food plant-based and aren't comfortable doing swaps, this might be a challenging book for you as well. So I'm in a bit of a tricky spot. If this was a one-off for me, I would definitely say this book is a borrow for sure, maybe on the borderline of a bypass. The irony is I already bought it. Because I have so much faith in this duo because of all of their past work, I'm just gonna go with the idea that maybe I didn't pick the best recipes for reviewing this book. Because I was trying to go with ones that are a little bit outside the box, things that my family hasn't tried yet. And maybe that was the failure on my part for this particular cookbook. So I'm gonna keep on diving through this because I own it. And I'm gonna give this book an overall solid borrow. If nothing else, Matt and Michelle are full of tons of great ideas. You're gonna learn a lot from the ideas inside of this book. So if you're new to whole food plant-based, check it out, see what you think of it, and if you like it, pick it up. And if you wanna pick it up, I got a discount code. I don't have a discount code, that's a lie. I just have a regular Amazon link down below that you can use to get a copy of this book. And if you buy it using those codes, you know, it just helps the channel because we get a little kick from it. So, you know, if you're gonna buy it, maybe consider using that. If you're a fan of this cookbook or Matt and Michelle or any of the other work, let us know in the comments down below what some of your favorite recipes are. Also, don't forget to say hi if you're looking for a shout out on the channel as well. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're this deep in the video, what are you waiting for? Hit that button, hit the like, let us know you're enjoying the video, and check out this video next because YouTube really thinks it's the one that you're gonna enjoy above all of the other ones. This is the one you've been waiting for. I don't even know why you haven't watched it yet. Because you've got a lot of stuff going on in your life, let's be honest. This isn't the only thing you do. But we appreciate that you spend time here. Thanks.